Oh, really? Since he died, you're able to do things.
It's only for it's only for writing on here, not regular thing.
Yeah, I understand. It might be too close, no?
No, he's right.
Lila Nishmas,
Dvora Bashlomo HaKohen.
Dvora Bashlomo HaKohen.
He got it in color.
Shkoya.
What did you bring today?
I got it.
You got stuff?
Yeah.
Huh?
It's
You
not
gotta
free.
do a little
It's not free.
Gotta bring stuff.
I know
No
that.
black
You
label.
guys should like
From
stuff.
now on,
Oh, it's
it's
blaming
not
me
the
for
stuff.
Yeah. Well, why not bring it? You.
it? What do I like?
All right, we're on. We're
Everybody
live.
knows what I like.
David, you're watching? Oh, good. Right there. Let's review real quickly. Yesterday we had the case of a Bechor who is dying, and in order to save its life, you have to let its blood, you have to do akaza. Three-way machlokes if you're allowed to do it. You have Rabbi Meir who says you can do it, make sure there's no mum. Rabbi Yehuda says absolutely not. You can't do anything even if there's no mum, let the animal die. And then finally you have Rabbi Shimon and Rabbanan who say you can do it in any way. It's Dover Sheni Miskaven. Dover Sheni Miskaven is mutter. Those are the three machlokes. Then the Gemara said, okay, we have these three shitas by a Bechor if you're allowed to do Akaz Adam. Perhaps it's similar to the three shitas of the barrel. So before we go to the barrel for a second, okay, we'll talk about the barrel. The barrel is a barrel of wine, truma, which has a suffix tuma. Somebody touched it, we don't know if he was not tummy, if he touched that barrel, not that barrel. So we have the three shitas over there. We have Rabbi Lezer that seems to line up with Rabbi Meir. Rabbi Lezer says you have to take care of the barrel, cover the barrel, make sure nobody else touches it. What's the status of the barrel? Suffix tuma, you can't drink it, you can't spill it out. Can't do anything with it. Rabbi Gamliel says don't do anything, don't touch it. So that's similar to Rabbi Yehuda that says don't touch this animal, don't do akaz sadam, don't do anything. And then you have Rabbi Yeshua that says let's cause tumah to happen here. Let's save this wine. Just like Chacham say you could do hakaza in any part of the animal because you want to save the animal's life. Let's save this barrel of wine because right now you can't drink it, you can't spill it. What you could do is, if you make it tummy on purpose, if you can cause tumah, not on purpose, but if you can cause somebody to touch it, trick him into touching it, then you can use the wine as ziluf. What's ziluf? Air freshener. So he says, let's do something with the wine, at least something. Let's get some air freshener out of it. So the Gemara says, we're holding on yesterday, all the way at the end of the yesterday, we said, well, it doesn't make any sense to line these three up with these three. Why? Because these three are psukim. And these three are psukim. One has nothing to do with the other. What are the psukim on these three?
You can't put it and sell it.
It's truma. You can't sell truma to a guy. So yesterday we had the psukim. That what? Rabbi Meir says that it says kol. Kol means you can't do any mum. Even if it already has a mum, you can't do another mum. And Chacham say tomim. You can't do a mum only when it is tamim, without another. Since this animal is dying, it already has a mum, give it another mum. What's interesting is the Gemara doesn't mention Rabbi Yehuda. The Gemara mentions these two shitas where they get it from the pasuk. What about the middle shita? So for that we have to go to the top of Rashi, the top words. Rabbi Yehuda Savak, Rabbi Meir. Rabbi Yehuda, who holds you can't touch this animal at all, holds like Rabbi Meir, that you call that there's a mum after a mum. Umiu, so let him do another mum in a place that there's not a mum. In other words, don't do a mum. Do hakazah down without a mum, like Rameir says. So he says, "Gaza makom sheinoisim b'mum, makom sheinoisim b'mum." Zero. Fine. So now we know Rabbi Yehuda shita. Today, we're starting the sugya of where did these man da'amrim get their shita from? They're also psukim. And if it's psukim, it doesn't line up. I get an idea by truma and tuma from a pasuk. What connection does it have to Bechor and Akaz Hadam? No connection. Says the Gemara. 4 lines down. Hacha b'kroi pligi. Meaning, in our case of a barrel that's truma, that suffix tummy. Yeah, a lot of words. Truma wine, that's suffix if it's tummy or not. It's a machlokes in the psukim. The Omer Rav Yehuda Omer Shmuel, v'chein Omer Rish Lakish, v'chein Omer Rav Nachman Omer Rav Avua. A lot of people say the same thing. V'ani hinei nosati l'chos mishmeres trumoi soi. Now, if there were no nekudos in the pasuk, like in a Sefer Torah, how would you read it by yourself? You'd read it trumasi. Why? Because there's no chaylam. There's no vav after the mem. In order to say true moisai, there should have been a vav after the mem. Since there's no vav after the mem, so the Messiahs, the way we have it in tradition, would read true masi, singular. So I made a chart here. This is one of the, by the way, it looks very simple. This is probably the hardest chart I ever made. Don't ask why. Kids, to get the red comets over here and the blue over here was a lot of work. Kitzer, I'll explain it to you a different time. It's not so posh. Fine. Yeah. I'm just saying, don't think it just, you type it and it goes.
We don't think that.
Because these nikudas, you can even see that this comment is bigger than a regular comment.
You just draw a line like this and like that.
Right, exactly. Yeah, Kitzer, fine. What does it say in the pasuk? Now, the way we read it is with a chaylam over here, as if there's a vav. True moisoi, which is plural, two. Yesh aim lemikra. That's the way we read it. Mikra, the way we read it. Then yes, you have yesh aim lemisiris. Misiris is true masi. This is the way it should have been read. But we know we have a Kabbalah to read it like this. True masoi plural. It should have been read true masi, which is singular. What's the nafkamina? The Torah tells us to safeguard your truma. It's truma, one or all of them. All of them would mean, even in our case, which is suffix truma. That's the second one. Rabbi Lezer is going to hold, like the top one, like we read it, that yesh im lemikra goes by reading. Achas truma tohira, achas truma tluya, and one is talking about a truma that we don't know, suffix truma, like our case. So therefore, Rabbi Lezer holds that's the shita right over here. Matzniya, you have to cover it, you have to safeguard it. Why? Because it's a pasuk truma soy. Okay. Rabbi Yeshua truma siksiv. So Rabbi Yeshua that says we don't care. Uncover the lid, put it in a terrible place that a bunch of tmei walking around, and eventually somebody's going to touch it and make it tamei, because there's no pasuk. He goes yeshem l'mesiris. If yeshem l'mesiris, I read it singular truma si. I only have to safeguard something that I know for a fact is truma and not the suffix truma. So what are you telling me? So it comes out that Rabbi Lezer holds the red, which is ein lemikra. How does that line up with the rest of Shas? Rabbi Lezer, Lemeimer, the Rabbi Lezer Sava Yeshim Lemikra, he holds always that it's based on how we read it. Vermini, the Vigdoi Ba. Oh, so now we have another pasuk, and that's it for the charts for today. It exhausted me. It says, Lo Yimshol Moishol. You can't rule this girl, your daughter, Lemachra, to sell Bevigdoi Ba. What does Bevigdoi mean? So the way we read it is bevigdoi, in her clothing. Once she gets married in her clothing, in her beged, then the father can't sell her anymore. If it's after yiyud, after the master married her, or any kind of marriage, the father has no rishus in her anymore. Bevigdoi, once he marries her. Or you can read it bevagdoi. Lashon of begida to, how do you say it in English? Rebel. Thank you. So
what would that mean?
what?
What would that mean?
Once he sold her. Says the Gemara, "Bevigdor ba kivin shepirish talisa aleh shuv einer rishoy lemachra." Divrei Rabbi Akiva, Rabbi Lezer Omer kivin shebagad ba shuv einer rishoy lemachra. So Rabbi Lezer all of a sudden drops down to the bottom. Yesh ein lemesiris. He goes by the way it should have been read. Bevagdoi, and not aim lemikra. Over here it's aim lemikra, and by bevigdoi, bevogdoi, Rabbi Lezer holds you go aim the Masoris. So Gemara says you're right. Rabbi Lezer always holds Ish aim the Masoris
Timeline over there?
because what if he sells her to Adoi, and then she's free? He could sell her again. She wasn't married yet, according to Rabbi Kiva. It goes by marriage. She has to have a yield, nothing to do with being sold. According to Rabbi Lezer, it has to do with being sold. So you're right. Elahacha b'hakom mifligi. Rabbi Yeshua Savar hara'uya lecha shmar. So in this pasuk it says, "Vani inei misati lecha," in red, as mishmer shmar. Whatever I give you, what does that Kodesh Baruch Hu give you? Something that you could eat. But if you have a barrel of wine that you can't eat because somebody touched it b'safek, that's not yours to watch. You don't have to watch it. It's not to you. If it's not available for consumption, then you don't have to safeguard it. Rabbi Lezer says no. At the end of the day, it might be right for you.
It's like completely.
You don't like that.
No, because it's not. Yeah. It's like you're saying, like.
I think I know, but in Lumdus it means that
it's open. Maybe
it's food you just don't know. Here's food for you.
Possibility.
You in your head don't know. It's not like a bechor. It's not like something. This food might be 100% kosher. It's the lack of your knowledge that's causing you not to eat. It's not a problem in the food. The problem is in you. So that might be food that Kodesh Baruch Hu gave to you. To your tightness.
Because maybe.
Not maybe.
Going to come.
Not maybe. I give you a piece of bread that's badats.
No.
You don't know that's badats, so you don't eat it. Whose problem is that? You or me?
This is not that.
That's what it is. I have a barrel of wine.
It's going to come now.
I have a barrel of wine. I have a barrel of wine that's 100% kosher. You don't know. You thought maybe some guy touched it. You thought you saw something. That's your problem. The barrel is yours to drink. You created your own suffix because you have a suffix. It's just a suffix. Eliyahu could come any minute and tell you, by the way, you made a big mistake. Or the video camera, call it whatever you want. You go back in time and you look whether or not it's
the fact that you have to come on to Eliyahu over here.
You don't have to.
That's what he's saying.
In those days, that's the only way to verify something. Right. But if you go to the satellite, you enlarge it, and you see the guy never even came close. He was 10 feet away. Kosher. Amar Rav Yehuda, Amar Shmuel. Halacha
Yeah.
Why didn't you? Why?
What did you say?
Why Daphne here does he come on to such a vital thing?
No, I hear it. By the way, what you're saying is it's a good kasha. It's not. But you can
But
hear.
it comes
you can
on
hear
to like Jewish.
svara.
He's coming on to like mamish like Jewish guilt over here because he's saying what you don't believe Eliyahu is going to come. You don't believe.
No, we might say it's apostle.
Right.
Also.
But
Either way.
then you'll know though. He's saying what you're going to say? Come and tell Eliyahu.
What you read it. You're putting a lot of emotions.
It's a lot.
Into this. It's a
There's
lot.
a
He's
lot
a
of-
storyteller. Come on.
Okay. Rabbi say, eat some zaynos here. Lili nishmas dvar b'shleim ha'kohen. Halprin. Now we had two machlokes in, if you remember, Reb Shimon yesterday. Machlokes number one was all the way over here. This is Reb Shimon, by the way. Here, this shita, the best shita, the most lenient shita, it says in the chart Rabbana because that's in the Braisa. But in the Mishnah, this is Reb Shimon. Reb Shimon says, if an animal, so let's say according to Taisus, the Mishnah is talking about, the Rishonim say the Mishnah is not talking about the same case as the Braisa. It's not dying animal, it's an animal that's sick. According to Reb Shimon, you could even puncture its ear if you need to let blood out, to heal this animal. Why? He doesn't mean to make a mum, he means to save the animal. Fine. We had another machlokes yesterday. Reb Shimon says, what do you do with this animal? Once I have a wound in its ear, big chacham, I punctured his ear, I pretend I need to save its life. I have a bechor that has a mum, I'm allowed to eat it. Reb Shimon says, you're allowed to eat it. You are allowed to eat it. Why? Again, he didn't mean to make a mum. He meant to save the animal. It's just a toitzah, a side effect. He got lucky here. He got a mum over here. Comes Omer Rav Yehuda Shmuel, says Shmuel, halacha Reb Shimon. Okay, but which one of these two machlokes is it? The first machlokes is I'm allowed to do hakas sadam. The second Reb Shimon is I'm allowed to even eat it. I'm allowed to shecht it. So when Shmuel says halach Reb Shimon, what did he mean? Mazgal Rav Nachman bar Yitzchok, hey Reb Shimon, which one? Eli Reb Shimon the Masnisin, the one that says that you're allowed to do hakas sadam. Why? Because miskaven ad hashta lo yashmin and Shmuel dav shein miskaven mutar. He already said it. Shmuel says dav shein miskaven mutar. This is Rav, not Shmuel. Rav and Shmuel argue that what halach Rabbi Yehuda that dav shein miskaven is also. Rav Chaim bar Rav Shmuel in the name of Shmuel halacha Rabbi Shimon that dav shein miskaven is mutar. Rav Chia bar Rav Masel b'loy gabri. Rav Amar halach Rabbi Yehuda u'Shmuel Amar halach Rabbi Shimon. The bottom line is we already know that Shmuel holds halacha Rabbi Shimon. So then why in our sugya does he have to repeat himself and say, by the way, the halacha in our mission is like Rabbi Shimon that dav shein miskaven is mutar. You're allowed to do hakas sadam wherever you want. Now the Rabbi Shimon the Braiso, obviously he's coming to say a chiddush that after you do hakas sadam and you created a mum, I'm allowed to use that mum for my benefit and shech the animal.
And again, you have to say that it wasn't 100% that the mum would be
Yeah, it's
there,
not a
right?
psik ratio.
It's not a psik ratio.
It's not a psik ratio, that's what they discuss. Because if it was a psik ratio, then even Reb Shimon, in other words, if he knew that he's puncturing the ear and that's going to cause a slit in the ear, then it would be usher. But he thought it's a small needle, it's not going to be visible, and he put it in the ear, and then only afterwards it was inspired that it was a...
Heal.
He thought it could heal maybe, etc. El Reb Shimon the Brayso. Reb Sheisha, Bereder Avidi Masla Behedya. It's not even a question. It says in Mamish Mefurish in the Brayso, or the way he said it. Omer Rav Yehuda, Omer Shmuel. Allah Reb Shimon the Brayso. Not that Allah is like Reb Shimon of dav shein miskaven mutar, but rather Allah is like Reb Shimon of the Brayso that once it already has a mum, I can use that mum and shech this bechar. I don't get punished. In talking about punishment, says the Mishnah, Hatzoyrim oizim bebechar. If somebody slits the ear of the bechar, right? It says we're discussing the kohen. The kohen already has it in his possession, so he has everything to gain. He has a bechar that he wants to eat. He can't do it. There's no Beis Hamikdash today. What's he going to do? He has to wait until it breaks its leg. No. How long can that take?
It's in the field.
He takes a knife, cuts its ear when nobody's looking. What do? He gets a knas, a tremendous knas. He can never ever eat this animal. He can't even sell it. He can't do anything with it. Nobody can eat it. Divri Rebbe Eliezer. So Rebbe Eliezer is very stringent. He says there's no way out. We give him a tremendous punishment. The Gemara is going to discuss whether this punishment goes down to generations. Let's say he dies, does his son also get punished? And the answer is no. It stops. But when he's alive, nobody can eat it. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know on Shabbos if the son doesn't get punished. It's yeah. Well, other people could eat it. It's
Correct,
the
right.
whole yeah.
He does it on purpose, right?
Yeah, this is on purpose.
If he does it by mistake,
Difficult to cut an animal's ear by
he's
mistake.
holding a knife, the animal
We're gonna see in a second what happens when
No,
we spike.
he thought it's mutter.
slipped.
He did it on purpose, but he thought it's mutter.
He's a kohen. He's a kohen. He knows that he's not allowed to make it.
So
He thought it's mutter.
we had now time out. Who asked that? Yisachar? We had a better case than mistake. We had a case that was on purpose by mistake. He had to do bloodletting,
Thought it's mutter.
and he cut the animal's ear. And the halacha is like Reb Shimon, dav shein miskaven is mutar. I mean, not dav shein, but you're allowed to shech the Reb Shimon says. That we said, halacha is like Reb Shimon, you're allowed to eat it on the spot. You don't have to
Did it on
wait.
purpose.
Without the knas, it's mutter. So the fact that it's the
Yeah,
knas, it shows.
the knas is only on purpose. V'chachamim oimrim,
Social policy.
and chachamim say, noila by mum acher yishchot alav. So chachamim say, you don't gain it. Once we catch you, you don't gain anything from cutting the ear. You have to wait until the other ear has a mum. If the other ear has a mum, anyways, you'd be able to eat it. So you didn't gain anything, and basically we didn't give you a knas. Nothing. It's pyrav. You can't use what you did, but you have to just wait for a knas. Ask the Gemara, we have a stira. Over here it says that Rebbe Eliezer is very, very machmir, and he says you can't do anything with the animal forever. On this mum, with this mum. No. Olav means because of the mum. Because of the mum. What's the reason you're shechting? Olav on the mum. That is the reason for you to be able to shech.
You're relying on the
You're
mom.
relying on.
Yeah.
It's called
It's a
knas
lashon.
if he doesn't eat it. So it's knas. Also for performing, it's knas when he doesn't eat it.
Yeah, but he didn't lose anything. He didn't have a mum before,
Yeah,
and the mum that he did, you just wait until the second
You
mum.
could say that if the behemoth has a mum, even though he did something, even though he did it purposely,
Yeah.
you're allowed to eat because it has a mum. But you consider.
But it's not a knas. Oh, you stam.
But
But it is a knas. At the end of the day, it does have a mum. Midoraisa, you should be able to eat it. It's a mum. It's a knas mechachomim. So what's the knas? Oh, you're saying that is the proof of the knas? Okay, fine. But I'm just saying, in terms of what he gained, he basically didn't gain anything. Fine. Umikonis Rebbe Lezer, you're saying he did, because Midoraisa he could. I hear. Umikonis Rebbe Lezer lo'ilam v'rimini mishahoyzalei beheres. Talking about tzaras. V'niktzitza, by mistake, his beheres by mistake fell off. Or it got chopped off. He was cutting vegetables and he cut half his finger off right with the beheres. Tar. Tzotzo miskaven, if he did it on purpose, Rebbe Lezer oimer l'kishivalo nega acher yitari meno. So Rebbe Lezer is makel over here. He says that when a new tsaras develops, then you become tar. If you look at the words here, yitari meno, you become tar from the first one. So you have to wait until a second tsaras comes. When will that happen? Possibly never. We don't know. Maybe he has to go talk Lashon Hara, stark, and then he'll get another tzaras. I don't know. Something. This is incredible. Chacham say you have to wait until a tzaras develops on his entire body. I don't know. If I'm just guessing, it's probably 1 in a million. How many people have tzaras from top to bottom?
But I thought that they said if you have swelling on the whole body, then you're Jehovah.
Exactly, and that's the point. Since anyways he would be tar because he has a tzaras on his whole body, so if he has a little tzaras on his finger that he cut off, anyways he would have been tar because it was on his whole body, so that he cut it off. The kitzur, this guy is doomed for life. If the guy has a tzaras, let's say his whole finger is tzaras, and then his whole body becomes tzaras, so we forget about then he becomes tar because it's his whole body. So this guy went and cut off his finger. He cut off the skin on his finger. So if he develops the tzaras in his whole body, then he becomes tar because he would have been tar anyways. The point is that he might have to wait a couple gilgulim for that to happen. Yeah.
But
Junior Eliyahu.
what you're saying is that if he cuts off his finger, he actually stays at Taras for the rest of his life.
Pretty much.
Yes.
Because he can't take it.
No. I don't know if that's true. But if he has on his rest of his body, besides his finger, a complete thing, then
but if he doesn't.
Yeah.
Let's say he doesn't get Taras on the whole rest of his body.
correct.
You can never show it to a Kohen,
Yeah.
saying is it
Exactly.
receding, it's gone, and therefore...
This is lo'ilam. This is basically a knas lo'ilam. But there is a little bit way out.
Why is the knas? He has no way out. It's not a knas.
No, because you see that it is a knas. Because if he developed, according to, if it goes on his whole body, it goes away, and it's the next thing is not so. But this is the rabbanon. He Lamaisi doesn't have it. At the end of the day, he doesn't have tzaras. Where's it to show? He got rid of it. So how could you say Midiraisa he's tameh when he doesn't even have it?
He had it.
He had it. I got rid of it. I cut it right off.
Maybe he'd already shown it to the Kohen. He's already been sent out and he cuts it off after that.
Okay, but at the end of the day, halachically, Midiraisa doesn't have a piece of tzaras on him. Why should he be tameh? It's gone.
Why do you see the two movies? Because the man doesn't have. You don't touch the shadow when we're still filming. Why should we do man?
What is it? What are you basing it on? You can only be tameh when the tzaras is still there, and the shadow is the tzaras not? It's not there. It doesn't have a finger anymore.
From Taras comes when Taras goes, right? Forget about cutting it off.
So why don't you lechatchila?
It goes when the Kohen says.
Yeah, but
When the Kohen says, but it's not even to say.
Why can't you lechatchila cut it off?
Finish off the job.
If you
No,
say,
because that's a deraisa. The Torah says Yishomer b'negeshem tzaras. Yeah, you can't cut it off. You can't cut it off lechatchila. You have to guard that tzaras. You have to make sure it doesn't come off.
you're over love.
You have a lot, yeah.
But that doesn't mean to
Well,
say you're still Taras.
Exactly. So that's why I'm telling you, Midaraisa,
You're not.
you should not be tummy. Oi, this is interesting though. This part over here, how do you explain this? Oi shetemait baharto mikigris. The guy cut off his finger. He doesn't have a beheres. Says the Gemara, yeah. And if it becomes smaller than a bean, then he's tar. But he doesn't have what to show. So that's why Rashi says he's talking about that it's smaller than a gris before he cut it off. Tosfos doesn't like it so much. Tosfos says it's talking about that it was exactly the size of a bean, and he cut off half of it, and the other half that remained shrunk a little bit. That if it was complete and if it was whole and he didn't mess with it, it would be less than a kigris today. That's when it becomes tar. But what's the bottom line? The bottom line is Chachamim are the ones that are very machmir. They say you have to wait until you get tsaras in your whole body.
Maybe that's a makel shita though, according to that. How do you know that?
What?
If you cut off half of it and then the other half shrinks a little bit, maybe that'll happen
According to
before he
Tosfos, you
develops
mean?
a new one. Yeah.
According to Tosfos, that might be.
Who says that takes longer than developing a whole new one and waiting for another one?
Here, he's explaining why Rashi doesn't learn like Tosfos, basically. Okay, so we're going with Rashi. Fine. You cut it off completely.
It's all the same.
So the question is, in our Mishnah, when a person makes a mum on a bechar, Rabbi Eliezer says that lo'olam, you have to wait forever and ever. What is that, one of the mouse again?
You need two. It'll fall out.
No, he said
Yeah.
yeah.
Two. Yeah.
And that's before he said the whiskey.
Because
Rabbi Eliezer says he's punished forever and ever by a bechar. And over here, Rabbi Eliezer says just wait until he gets another nega. What's the difference? Says the Gemara, Rabbi Rabbi Yosef, the Amrit Harvayu, ki konis Rabbi Eliezer b'mamoinot. Begubay like konis. There's a difference. A bechar is his possession. Over here, we're talking about his own body. And what's the difference? Mamoinot ikele meimar the osin lemevad. By his money, by his possession, we're worried, we're concerned that this guy, if we don't give him a real punishment, a serious deal, then he might do it. He has nothing to lose. Why? According to, like I explained the Chachamim, if he cuts the ear on purpose, and then he goes to Bezdin and he says, look, it has a mum, so either they fall for it, and he gets to eat his animal, or they don't fall for it, and they say, you did it, you can't use it. Okay, he didn't lose anything, so you can't use it. So cut his ear for nothing. And then he waits for another mum to develop, and he gets to eat it. But anyways, he was waiting for another mum. So he lost absolutely nothing. Rabbi Eliezer says, therefore, we have to give him a good gezunta punishment. Can't use this animal forever. But over here, he has everything to lose. Because if he cuts off his finger, he cuts off the skin with his beheres, and we say you have to wait until you get another one, he might be waiting for 50 years. There's no telling when the next tzaras is showing up.
Shiraz might have got better by itself.
And if he wouldn't cut it off,
Then it'll go
wait
away
a week, it
eventually.
might go away. So Mamish lost out here. He could be lost out a lot more than he.
Falls on that.
You need 3 people. Remember, you need 3 people to say this is
If it
a
breaks his leg, it also needs 3 people?
what?
If it breaks his leg, it also needs
Yeah,
3 people?
yeah. Every moment. That's
Every ball
obvious.
needs
Yes.
someone to check.
Yeah.
His name Ayala.
And it waves
His
it.
name is Ayala.
On top of the page. What did he say? The what?
Ayala was the mumcha.
Oh yeah. Unless you're a mumcha like a yala. No, that was a question if you could get money for it. 40 sarim or 60 sarim. Okay. Yala the mumcha. It doesn't make sense. He's going to try to make shtick and cut it off himself. That itself is a tremendous knas by saying that wait until the next one comes. Omar Rava, Rabbi Eliezer, Kashio. You just said it's a contradiction between Rabbi Eliezer and Rabbi Eliezer in the Mishnah. Rabbi Eliezer says lo oilam. We give him a knas lo oilam, and by tzaras only until the next one. The Rabbanan lo Kashio. Rabbanan here say that you have to wait until his whole body gets a tzaras, which is a tremendous problem. And in the Mishnah they say wait until the next mum. Says Gemara Elo did we just answered why it's not a kasha, it's not a steer between Rabbi Eliezer. Rabbanan nami lo kasha. Pacha b'mayit da'avet kansua. Pacha b'mayit da'avet kansua. Rabbanan are consistent in what you did. That's what they give you a penalty. B'mai Chaven, the Mishra B'hai Muma. What did he do by a Bechar? He wanted to take advantage of the mum and he cut his ear. He wanted to use this ear. So B'hai Muma Kansur Rabbanan. So Rabbanan said, oh, you can't use this ear. The B'hai Muma, he's not going to get a free ride with this one ear. And by us, he wanted to get away by getting rid of this nega, pretend it never existed. So we gave him the worst punishment possible, and we said, oh, it's as if it never went away. Your skin that you took off is still here. Now do something about it. Prove it. So the only way you can prove it is if you get a nega on your entire body that would have covered that anyways. This is really Gishmak. Because we said before that Rebbe Eliezer says that if you have a nega, you cut it off, what do you have to do? You have to wait until another nega comes. What's his lashon? What does it mean? When a second nega comes, yitaher himenu from what? From the first nega. When? At what point? Right away. The guy cut off his nega. The day he's going to be waiting like crazy for his second nega to appear. That day he's going to make a suda sida. Now he can be tar. Why? Yitaher himenu. He's going to come tar from the first one. Obviously now he has a second one he has to deal with. He'll deal with it. But from the first one he's tar. The other option is v'yitaher himenu, like it actually says in the Mishnah over there in the Goyim, not like by us. V'yitaher himenu means, and he's going to become tar from the second one. When he gets rid of the second one, then the first one we don't care about. Then we'll say you're okay. L'may nafkimina. The bottom line is today he has a second one. So anyways he's tameh and he has to wait for the second one to go away. So what do I care if he's tar from the first one right away or after the second one?
Let's say that in between.
No. He is tame until the second one appears. The second one appears, he has to wait anyways until the second one goes away. So what did he gain if the first one halachically went away the day the second one came along. But anyways, you have to wait until you do all the taharas, you go to the kohen, and then once you're done, you have to do sheva, you make tahara, etc. Blah 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 blah. Only then he's tar. What did he gain? Says the Gemara, Gevaldik Achab. He gained if he's a chassan. A chassan gets a free pass. If, let's say you're a chassan, you're walking around, you have no nega, and you made a chassan, the first day of Shabbat, you look at your finger, oops, there's a nega. Ignore it. Even though it looks exactly like a nega, you looked it up, it's 100% a nega, you know it's a nega, don't even bother going to the kohen, you get 7 days free pass. Halacha. Why? Because you're a chassan. We don't want to ruin it for your wife. Just because you have a nega, she doesn't have to talk Lashon Hara. It doesn't have to affect her. And your whole party, everybody prepared. It's Shabbat brachas, restaurants, everything's ordered. What, are you going to cancel everything? 7 days free. The same thing on Yantif. It's not only a chassan, Yantif, you also get a freebie. If we catch a nega, so we don't want to ruin your whole Yantif, you already have the hotels, Palatine, the whole Zach, yeah?
Basically, you don't have to call the kohen straight away.
You don't call the kohen. You know the kohen.
Rashi seems like it's only after he gets married. He doesn't get a free pass.
Right, that's not a chassan. It means he is a chassan. Chassan doesn't mean what we call a chassan. You got married. Why? Okay, so check this out. You hear what's going on here? Listen to the chab. The chab is gewaldig. The guy, this chassan is about to get married. He had a neg on his finger. And he cut it off. He's a shtickle chaverman. He cut it off. He did a big isser. He cut it off. And then a day into his shaver brachas, oops, his other finger got a nega. So now, if you hold that when he gets his second nega, the first nega goes away, it's as if he doesn't have a first nega. And the second nega, you don't do anything, gets 7 free days, he gets a free pass. So the chassan is tar. His first nega doesn't exist because the second nega showed up. The second nega doesn't exist because he's a chassan. He's great. But if you have to wait until after the second nega, then only the first nega goes away, then the chassan is tameh. Because even though the second nega showed up, and he gets a free pass on the second one, But the first one, he's still tummy. He never got rid of the first one. So the chazan is tummy.
But that's the difference between the two.
Yes. Again, a nega shows up. I wish there was a chart for this. I don't know how to do it. If there was a second nega that showed up, then the first one doesn't exist. Okay, so if you're a chassan, second day shever brachas, a second nega shows up. He's all happy. I got a second nega. That means my first nega doesn't exist. I'm tired completely from the first one. What about the second one? We ignore the second one because he's a chassan. What's his status right now?
Nothing.
Tar.
But if the second one's not a nega, so how does it take away the first one?
Hold on. No, it's a nega to take away the first one, but he's not Tommy. That's how it is. It's a physical thing. It's here. He has a nega.
But you have a feeling.
It doesn't say you have to have a tummy nega.
It's
I hear you, Kashi. Next.
Oh, it's a real nega. It's not a kash.
It's a real nega that it's a real nega that he's not Tommy from. It's a real nega he's not Tommy from.
Is he allowed to get married by being Tommy from the first?
It's not a kash.
Why not?
Well,
One is not allowed to marry someone that's Tommy. Then nobody's married today.
He's supposed to be out of the machane.
It's a good way to do
He's supposed to be out of the machane in the desert.
I don't want to be there, but I'm just sorry.
Here.
He's not married.
Hold on, let's just finish this thing. I hear you, Shayla.
You don't want to be negative.
What's the second side?
Yeah, you got it.
Here's the second side. Second side is that the first nega doesn't go away until after the second nega goes away. So he's tummy because he has a nega. His whole life he's been tummy. All of a sudden, second day shever brachas, second nega shows up. Does the first nega go away? No, because he has to wait until the end of the second nega. And the second nega didn't go away yet. It didn't even start yet because he's still married.
You don't ignore both nega when it becomes a chassan?
No, that's the point. You can't ignore the first nega because the tumah is here. You can't take away tumah. You don't start tumah. You can't take away a tumah. That's the whole point. That's the nature.
Comes back to my question: how could he get married in the first once he had a nega?
But this guy that's tumah, he's not out of the machna for the rest of his life. If this guy that cuts his nega off, you think you're gonna put him out of the machna for 50 years?
Unless he gets the nega on his whole body, yes.
50 years. So he'll have to marry a woman that did the same thing. Two Nagayim marry each other, and they have Nagayim kids. Exactly.
Sounds very negative.
What do they say? Negative.
Zog the Gemara, where are we holding? Bayra Papa. Let's see it inside, now that we know everything inside. Yitahir Tnan, it becomes tar on the spot, or Yitahir Tnan, or you have to wait until the second one becomes tar. L'may nafkimina l'chasen v'chein beregel noisim lo yikol yemei haregel. And also in Yantif, you get all the days of the Yantif for free. If he becomes tar from the first one, he becomes tar from the first one, the Basrais and Natrinle Shiva Simei Mishnah. And for the second one, he's free of Tumah because he's a Chassan. So Memela, what's his status? He's tar completely. You have to wait until the end of the second. Soif. Even if you say that the second one is not Tommy because he's a Chassan, he's still Tommy from the first one. Taisus asked Abam Kasha. Let's say you get rid of the Tumah of the first one and he's a Chassan. Guess what? It's also a Kasha Mishamita for 7 days. After you metar from Otzeras, you still have to do 7 days. You have to bring Tzitpoirim, you have to do Bahoinos.
Before he got married?
What?
When did the first one show up?
It showed up, but he's tummy.
Before he got married?
Yeah, way before. 7 years before he got married, he's in a status of Tumah. He can't wait to get a second.
What's the question?
What did he gain? What did the Chassan gain?
Like cutting it off. Nobody sees.
But he's still. But the point is, he's still tummy. You after anytime. What's the process? The process is I go to the kohen and I say, the kohen says, "Oh, you're tar." We don't become tar on the spot. You have to bring birds, the Mitzvah birds, the famous Mitzvah birds. I have to do the blood. I have to do the whole process, and I can't be with my wife. I gain nothing.
Wait, is this Ma'akev? Is the Korban Ma'akev?
Yes, of course. So Taisus answers that we're talking about a Mitzvah Mesafik. There's Musgar Muchlat. So this is talking about a Mitzvah that they put outside because they didn't know. And Memela, when the client says he's tar on the spot and he doesn't have to do birds or anything. That's the halacha on Mitzvah Musgar. The other chap that Taisus says is that he already did the whole process beforehand. He went, he did the korbanos, but with the Rabbanan he's tamei. Rabbanan said he's tamei, but he did the whole process already a year ago. And then when the client says oh, this is a second tzaras, then the Rabbanan Tumah goes off and he doesn't have to do the whole birth thing. Because he did it last year. Midaraisi is allowed to do it. Midaraisi is not coming. So he did it the whole process last year. Rabbanan said, by the way, hold off on your tahara. We're punishing you now forever until you get another tzaras. So when he got that other tzaras, the punishment goes away, but his kapara and everything you have to do for mitzvah could still be in effect. So he says, but it doesn't work 100%. You still have to do the blood and the thing.
So what's the maskon of the Gemara?
Teiku.
What?
There you know, you know.
Oh.
Yeah, exactly.
All his kashas have meaning, by the way.
I know that.
Okay, so. Oh, 3 minutes. Hold on. I'll talk to you later, Hillel. Seriously, we gotta finish this thing. I didn't realize how late we were. We only have 3 minutes. Okay, the guy was a Rasha. He was over on the Torah. He created a mum in the ear of the Bechor, and then, as a punishment, the Baruch Hu killed him. Does his son also get punished? Now, Rashi sticks in here, la'olam. In other words, the question is only according to Rabbi Eliezer, do we punish him forever? Because according to Chachamim, of course you have to wait until another mum comes along. That's not the question. You can't benefit off your father, like Avi said before, on Shabbos. You can't benefit from the food, from the Isser. So wait until the next mum comes along. But the question is, do I have to punish him forever? Now the Gemara goes through a bunch of sugis and shas. You have the case, you're not allowed to sell your slave to a guy because you're mafkiah him for mitzvahs. And if you do, you have to redeem him 10 times the value. In other words, we punish you tremendously. Maybe that over there, the halacha is that it will go to the son as well. If a person, you're not allowed to do malacha on Yantav, on Chalmayit. So what happens? He's in the middle of making wine. If it falls out on Chalamayit, he's allowed to continue davar oven, right? By us in the hotel, bus loads of people going to the mall because it's davar oven, because the sales are not going to be there after Yantav. That's their big heter. So over here it says, if he was mechaven his malacha, he made sure that it should fall out on Chalamayit, like Kansa b'nai Yaakov. Why? Because at the end of the day, he didn't. What's the halacha? He himself, all his grapes, everything goes into the garbage because you're not allowed to work on Yom Tov. And if you try to set up the calendar that it should fall on Chalamayit and have a heter, no, we punish him. But that punishment doesn't go to his son. Why? Because he only set up his calendar, but he never actually worked the wine on Yom Tov. He never did. We tried to prevent him from doing it, and we punished him. So here's the loveness. Is it a punishment on the person, on the gaver, on the chefza? Do we say that the punishment is on this person? He's dead. Or maybe they put the knas onto the animal, and it doesn't matter where the animal is, but even if it goes to the son. We learned this. If somebody tried to clear out his field from weeds, thorns that Rashi says are not even connected to the ground. Why does Rashi say it? Because now it's only awesome in the Rabbanon. He didn't accomplish anything. Why? Because it's a very easy job. But if he fertilized his field, how did he fertilize his field? Not with animals, because that would be the second one. So he took him back, says Rashi, brought in agolos of truckloads of fertilizer, or he put a pen of animals on his property so that he should fertilize it. Then we punish him. If he fertilized it, then he died. We don't punish the son. Hold on, we should just finish until the Mishnah. So the bottom line is, according to Rashi, you don't punish him until there's another mum. According to the Shulchan Aruch, you could do it right away. The son could use the animal immediately. So says Abaya, if a person went over to his friend and he's tamei and he touched all his friend's fruit and he made all his fruit no good, so typically he has to pay for it. It's hezek shein nikar, but you have to pay. It's a knas. But we didn't penalize the estate. My taima hezek shein nikar lo yishmei hezek. At the end of the day, you cannot see it physically. We didn't punish his son when it comes to hezek shein nikar.